Hi, this is Clinton Kane, and you're watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am so excited to be joined by Clinton Kane. How's it going?
Not bad, pretty good, not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm so excited to finally spend some time chatting with you. You've been really busy. I know you've taken some breaks in between as well, which we'll talk about, but I wanted to cycle back to your humble beginnings. What can you tell me about your initial memories of going to church and listening to worship music? Because that kind of lay the foundation for your career today and your love of music.
Um, it was like a range of emotions. It definitely was 50-50. There was 50% of me that loved it, and then 50% of me that absolutely fucking hated it. Um, I was like kind of like forced to read the Bible every day and like forced to do a lot of things I didn't really want to do as a kid. Um, but no, it was fun. Like I genuinely like loved, playing music in church, worshiping, like all that stuff. It was good, and I didn't really think anything much of it. I didn't necessarily like think I was gonna use any of that to do what I do now. If I'm being perfectly candid, I was just kind of having fun with my life, and then now I've ended up here, which is odd.
And you don't shy away from your life and some of the hard times you face. And everything from I want to say fix it to break it to this is what a rough childhood feels like. So between the period of like 2017 to 2019, maybe take me through that and growing into your decision to actually be releasing music into the world.
I was set to do pre-med, and I was doing it 2017. Ended up dropping out because I was just like, I can't like fucking do this anymore. Like, I can't like study. I was not built for it. I couldn't do it. So then I kind of just fucked off and ended up getting a one-way flight to Greece. No particular reason why it was Greece. I just kind of like saw a cheap flight and I was like, oh, here we go. Let's go to Athens. Ended up going there, ended up staying there for a year. Ended up, going through like a bunch of ups and downs, working lots of jobs, being homeless at some point. There was a lot of things that happened in 2018. And then that was more of like a soul, like finding myself kind of trip in hopes that like I would find what I wanted to do for like what I wanted to do with my life. And then I left Greece and I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I got back home and I was home for like 2 months and I was like in constant peril. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the point of existing right now? And I had a panic attack like about that. And and then because I wrote a song from the panic attack, and then this is what anxiety feels like was made, and then everything else was made from that first moment.
It kind of fell into place for you, although it seems like very unconventional. It's just how your life rolled out. I want to talk about your chosen family, which I know today is your listeners, your fans,
Mm-hmm,
but also people on your team, like your
mm-hmm.
manager, Jeff, guys like Damien, Tom Falcone. So tell me about that word and what it means to you today.
Oh, how do you? Oh, you know their names? That's so funny. That's so funny. Um, uh, I don't know. It's a very complicated question. I like family is very complicated to me, and I don't really know how to like really dive into it so much.
But I know that the company you keep is really important to you, so
Yeah.
maybe just like some words on that.
Um, I mean, I have a close circle with me. I've always kind of ran like that since, childhood and everything. And, the people around me, there's a bunch of other people around me that I keep very close, and, they're all very special people in their own right. And, we all truly, truly care about each other. I care about, like their welfare, and they care about like it's very like it's definitely very family oriented, which is amazing.
How did you come to meet Tom Falcone? I just want he's such a great photographer. I know you've worked together recently on a shoot. I spoke with him years ago at Vans Warped Tour when he worked with bands that I've listened to. So it's nice to see you two as friends.
Uh, yeah. We like my label reached out to him to do one thing, and then we did it, and then after that we kind of just like caught on, and we just had so much fun, and then like I texted him saying let's go get food and go get drinks, and we kind of just hung out as friends, and then at that point, like after like a year and a half or 2 years of like back and forth, like now he's my creative director, so I'm very happy about that.
Well, we'll talk about your debut album maybe someday. It'll all be okay. Congratulations
Thank you so
on
much.
that. Long time coming. I know that you make music for yourself, not for others. So I have to ask, now that it's finally out there, it'll be 3 months on Saturday. It'll be
Oh
released.
wow.
How have you been feeling?
I feel great. I'm kind of over that project already, if I'm being honest with you. Like that project was supposed to come out like way before. Like it was supposed to come out like a year before it came out. And like the music and the songs and the types of, and the type and the sonically and aesthetically and all and everything that surrounded that album was like it's like it was like a person that I didn't know. You know what I mean? It was like past me, and I've moved on to uh just everything's different now, and I'm very excited. I've been like super radio silent on like social media and everything, and just because like I've been like really like trying to hone into everything, and I'm very happy. And people are gonna get a taste of the new music on tour. We start Montreal. Everything's sold out. Very happy about that. But people are gonna get a taste. So I'm hopefully I see you in the Vancouver show. But like you're gonna get a taste of the new shit. Like I'm very excited. I'm excited to see what people think. But um, I keep rambling. Wow, Jesus Christ, I talk too much. No, I feel great. I feel like I'm ready. I've moved on. Essentially, is what it is.
You still have been releasing visuals. Like for that release, there's, the house with the fire. Is that
Yeah,
something that you had any creative input with as well?
yeah. That was like kind of my idea, essentially.
The music video, Keep It to Yourself. Did you have fun filming that one?
Yeah, it was tiring as fuck. Not gonna lie to you. God, that was exhausting. Ugh.
You're going back to that time and you're like, I
Yeah,
don't want to
like
talk about it.
I'm done filming music videos. Can't do it anymore. I quit. God.
I mean, you did say you like the attention, so you kind of have to be the face of your music videos. So
I
I
know,
feel
but
like there's more coming.
yeah, I guess there is. Fuck me then. God.
Can you share a bit more about your song selection process, like how you ended up with that final nine? Because for every song that is included, I'm sure there's like 4 to 5 that don't make the cut.
Yeah, there were actually like 10 that didn't make the cut. There were like way more songs. No, it kind of just made sense. They were just like, the album was about um the 3 years of my life. Very like each song was like a very, you know, very what's the word? Like impactful moment in my life. Like negative and positive. I mean, mostly negative, but one positive. I guess I'm in love, but like everything else is very negative. There were just like times in my life where I was like, it like really impacted me as a human being. And, I just skimmed through all those songs and it just kind of just made sense for me. Honestly, that was really what it was.
I Guess I'm in Love is known as the wedding song. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Seeing videos of couples reacting to pregnancy news, dancing at their wedding, really people of all ages. When you see that footage, what does that mean to you?
Um, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a weird fucking feeling. I don't know. It's also like all these things are so overwhelming that I don't even have time to think about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm always like, go, and like I could sit here and give you an answer, but I don't even know how to answer that. It definitely is overwhelming, but like I guess like my mindset with everything is just so like do this on to the next one. Let's keep doing this on to the next one. And it's like there's like pros and cons about that, but the cons is like I don't get to appreciate things that like me 4 years ago would have been like, I want that. You know what I mean? So I'm very appreciative, and you know, it's fucking nuts how like all this has happened.
Well, I feel like it's a song that will continue to be used. Would you use it as your wedding song?
No, I mean, if I end up getting married to someone else, I don't think she'd like a wedding song written about someone else. Probably not a good idea.
It is ARIA award nominated. It's so congratulations
Oh
on
yeah,
that. Best song of the year. I think
song of the year. Pretty
you'll
crazy.
find out end of November, I think,
Yeah,
around that
you
time.
know, I don't really want to find out. Glimpse of Us by Joji was on that list too. I just don't. I don't really see a world where I guess I'm in love wins. Like, let's.
I mean, you never
If no,
know.
no, I do know. Let's truly be honest with each other here. There's no need to lie. There's no need to chat around. Like, there's no chance. I'm kind of just over it. You know, I'm gonna keep moving. That's all I'm gonna do.
Like you said, it's like your life just keeps moving forward.
Yeah.
And speaking of, you have such a bright, big energy when you're working on new music, and you've been back with Steve Rush, who co-wrote and produced your debut album. So what can you share about this new material?
It's definitely different. It's I'm I like can't contain how fucking excited I am for it. Like I know a lot of people are like, I'm so excited, really steamy. I'm so excited. They're like, it's genuinely very fucking different. It's like a huge upgrade to it's like still me and still the emotional little shit that I am, but like elevated in a way that is true to me. And like I've taken inspiration from things I've been listening to and I have listened to. I didn't know, like I finally am at a place where I'm taking everything I'm listening to and you know, getting little bits of inspiration here and from this song to this song to this song, and then putting everything into mine. And like a song's coming very soon. I'm very excited to just roll everything out. It's gonna be great.
What kinds of artists have you been listening to recently that you've been drawing inspiration from?
Um, Lots of house music, lots of electronic music, the 1975, lots of indie rock kind of vibes. So just don't worry, it's gonna be good.
So I do have to ask you about a few songs that you've teased before because you are notorious for doing that on places
Yeah.
like TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
Never in Love. Is that one coming up the pipeline
No.
at all?
No. Anything you've heard in the past is never coming out. Just letting you know.
Bravo
Like
Toast.
I'm
Then I
gonna
think that one's
no.
like the old, so old by now.
It's just never coming out. It is
I
what
think
it is. Like
Without
what
You,
I
that
plan
one
on
was more
doing.
recent.
What I plan on doing with all these old songs that I'm never gonna release, like I'll release more projects first, and then at some point I'll like release a whole batch of songs, and the title of the album will be like songs I never wanted to release, and then just put it out. That would be the closest thing. That would be the thing I would do to having those songs out. But like, if I'm being brutally honest, none of those are coming out anytime soon.
I think that that idea would make people happy though, because
For
every
sure.
time you're vibing out to your music, I think it gets people excited, and you should be proud of what you've been creating. And you've talked about, you know, working through past trauma, entering a new space of hope, and really being able to figure things out as life moves ahead. So lyrically, is your new music reflective of that?
Very much so. That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
But we can still expect to cry, or have
Everything.
you moved past that?
No, I haven't moved past that. I love crying. I cry all the fucking time. What are you talking about? I'm never gonna move past that. How on fucking earth am I gonna move past that? It's like part of my routine. I have it in my notes. Whenever I write my day down the night before, it's in my notes. Cry at 3 to 4 p.m. There you go.
I mean, it's therapeutic, right? We all need to let out those tears.
Yeah. Sure.
In 2021, you had a really big year outside of music as well. I know you signed Elise, you put down some roots in Nevada. You did get a pupper, Oslo, who we haven't seen recently. So I had to ask, is Oslo still in the picture?
Oslo, unfortunately, is not in the picture anymore. I had to give him away to a very close friend of mine who could take better care of him. I just was flying a lot. Tour was happening. There's just so many things that were happening, and it was more for him than for me, honestly. Like Pomeranians have like really bad attachment issues. So it was just kind of more like he needed a stability, and like I was essentially like I didn't know it, but like with me leaving him at whenever I couldn't, like I was essentially just like I had this reflective moment when like after like a couple times of like leaving him with a friend and blah blah, I was like, wow, like what my parents did to me, I'm fully doing it to this dog right now. And it was like, nah, like it's not okay. So then I kind of just decided like it's healthier for him to be with someone who's, you know, more stable.
Do you still see him at times?
I saw him a month ago, yeah.
And you are still based out of Las Vegas, kind of?
Yeah, yeah, you could say that.
Have you been to a Vegas Golden Knights hockey game yet?
No.
You have met a hockey player before,
Who?
Jordan Kyrou. You were in a photo with him, Martin Garrix, at
How do
I
you
think
know
last
this?
February, because
How do
I
you
follow him on Instagram because I'm a hockey fan, St. Louis Blues, and I saw you in that photo and I was like, that's so cool. I had to ask you about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just out in Vegas and I just met him. I don't I
You're like, I don't remember that that night at all.
no, I remember everything. I do not encourage drinking or anything in that sort. I don't do any of that. Never been to a hockey game. I've only ever been to an NBA game, and that was great.
Getting into the sports. Now that you are officially like a citizen, you're like having to learn all these American sports.
I'm not really a citizen. If I was a citizen, I could have free reign and I'd actually be American and I wouldn't have to worry about fucking visas all the time. But I'm worrying about visas all the fucking time and it's fucking straining. Had to, we had to go through so many lengths and hoops to get into fucking Canada. Like it was the most stressful time. It was so stressful, especially for my manager who's actually in here right now, but he's very quiet. He's probably laughing now because it was a fuck ton to like get into Canada. Like if I was actually a citizen, there would be no problem. But alas, I'm not. So
Well, you are coming to Canada and it looks like it's all sorted out. So kudos to your team, your manager for getting it done, kicking off your world tour on Saturday in Montreal. Tell me
yeah.
about your tour prep, how excited you are to finally be back out on the road.
Very, very excited. I've been rehearsing for like a month now, like building everything from the ground up, changing everything with the new music and all this stuff. Like it's been like a lot of fucking work. It's like this is like the part of my career that I only care about is songwriting, strictly songwriting and live shows. That's the only thing I actually find joy in. Like I don't like recording vocals. I don't like anything else. Like it's only songwriting and doing the live shows. And I really put a lot of time into how the live shows look like, you know, how it sounds like every little detail. I'm very hands-on. So it's been like a lot of fucking work. So I'm really, I mean, I'm excited to see what you think of the show when I see you in Vancouver. But it's been a lot of work.
And you'll be back doing VIP meet and greets, meeting fans again. So excited to maybe pick up some more stuffed animals. I don't know if you'll have room. You'll be flying
Nope.
back and forth.
Nope,
Not
not
this time around.
nope. We're flying all around, so definitely not picking up any fucking stuffed animals. For sure.
What gifts are you accepting? Are you accepting food? Like what's the deal?
Cash, like the money that you'll spend for food or stuffed animals. Just like give me like I'll pass around an envelope through the whole line when they're waiting. Just put cash in. That's fine with
The
me.
money jar. This
Honestly,
is
that like
Clinton needs the
I'm
funds.
not even joking. Like I'll probably say something about it. Like I'll put on my story like, hey guys, if you want to give gifts, like we're flying right now. Like don't give anything else but cash. Like I have no space in my bags. I only have space for cash. So just give me cash. That's all I care about.
There will be some merch at the shows though,
Yes,
right?
yes. Merch is gonna be great.
So if you want to buy your merch, they can do that too.
Yes.
But your December 3rd show will be an important one for you. That one, you'll be in Manila in the Philippines. Have you
Oh
thought about
yes.
going back there?
Um, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to honestly get out of America. I've been stuck here for the past like 2 years. And it's like I know that doesn't like it's like very normal for people to like stay in one place for a while. It's not normal for me, like having moved around a lot. Like it's like and I every time I sit down and think about it, I'm like, how the fuck like haven't I left yet? Like it doesn't make sense to me. So going to Canada doesn't really count because it still feels like America. You know what I mean? It's like not it's the same. It's like it's not, but it is the same. So I'm excited to like go to Europe, go not Europe, go to Asia specifically, and I'm also excited to go to Europe. I didn't mean to be like not excited about it. Um, I'm excited. I'm very very excited to just get out and start and just play music.
And also, like you said, test out those new songs. You
Yeah.
did have to cancel the US portion due to logistics. Is
Mm-hmm.
that in the works to reschedule in the new year? I know a lot of people have been messaging you on Twitter, places like that, asking. You
Yeah.
did put out a statement about it as well.
Yeah. It's definitely happening next year for sure.
I was hoping, if you don't mind sharing, can I ask about a couple of your tattoos and maybe the stories
Sure.
behind them?
Sure. Of course.
So you could pick a couple, or I know that you have a butterfly and you have some angel wings on your fingers as well.
Oh, yeah. Um, there's a little faded angel wing. This one was we got it just for my mom. Just was like a nice little thing I got because of my mom. Butterfly. Um, I got like first of all, I like really just thought it looked cool, and then after I got it, I proceeded to think about an explanation I could give to people to make me sound like way more philosophical and cooler. So I guess like I kind of just outed myself there, but I would have said like the butterfly effect. You know what I mean? How like every little thing like you do becomes this one large thing. That's what I would say. Um, we have this. It says could be worse. We have this. It's me as a kid, just kind of being flown away throughout my whole life. Um, and then it says "Jeg elsker deg, mama," just means I love you, mom in Norwegian. And then I think this is Mandarin for hope. And then I have a couple others here, but these are all just kind of random. I need more.
I think it's nice that you carry these little parts with you as reminders. And, with the butterfly, it's also a lyric in I guess I'm in love, butterflies can't stop me falling for you. So I was like, that's a nice little tie-in as well to
Come to like think about it, like I don't really know butterflies can't stop me falling. What does that mean? Like,
you tell me, you wrote
no,
it.
I have no fucking clue. Like, I don't know how, when I wrote that what I was thinking. Butterflies cannot stop me falling for you. Honestly, I don't know, man. Like,
Could be a philosophical thing. You don't have to think about it super literally.
I mean, it definitely made sense to me in my head when I wrote it because I wrote it, but right now I don't know. So I guess we're just gonna leave it at that, honestly.
Some of the jewelry you wear as well, the pearl necklace, you wear a lot of rings. Do those carry significance?
Um, no, I kind of just got a stylist and she was like, "Wear this," and I was like, "Okay."
It's
There wasn't.
become like your trademark, though, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have the rings right now because I'm actually at rehearsals. And it hurts to play drums when I have rings on. So I don't have lots of the jewelry on, but yes, it's become a thing. It's kind of funny.
Now, you've really embraced new media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. For you as an artist, what do you enjoy about using them, and maybe what do you not so much enjoy on the everyday basis?
um, you know, I mean I like the I like using them the social media platforms. It's a very, very easy way to connect with the people who care about me and listen to my music, which I'm very thankful for. Um, but I think sometimes, it like having to do this and market and all that stuff like kind of takes away a lot from the energy I put into writing music. But like at the end of the day, like it's also at the end of the day, it's like it's part of the job. You know what I mean? I've kind of learned to just adapt to it and like not necessarily like complain about it anymore. I could go on and yap about like this that, but it's just like is what it is. We're at a different age, different artists. We have to like people have fucking ADHD, low attention spans. Like you're gonna have to figure out a way to fucking get all these round everyone up. But no, it's been definitely a life changer for sure.
For those new to TikTok and wanting the Clinton Kane masterclass on social media engagement, how to get my TikToks out there, what advice would you give to them?
I guess like just like write really good music, man. I think it's way more simpler than I thought. And it's essentially just if you're a musician or songwriter or something, you have to have good music that people can relate to. And then on top of that, it's what's the other one? It's just being real, like in front of the camera, and then consistency. Those three things are kind of just like what it is. That's like the secret that is not a secret.
It's just what it is, but it worked for you, and we're really happy it did. We're going to play a game now. It's called Throwback Trivia. Cool. How it works is I'm going to be asking you questions that you've been asked either in past interviews or related to your own content. It's out of 5, and it's basically a test of how good your memory is. You ready to play?
Sure. Yes.
In your second vlog in Amsterdam, what food item did you want to make, but the grocery store had run out of flour?
Banana bread.
Yep, you got it. Wave 89.1 FM interview. This was in 2020. What did you say was the favorite place you've traveled to?
Sri Lanka.
Yep. Good memory. In your game's Instagram story highlights, Instagram told you that you were single because you were too what?
I don't know.
You were too pretty.
Oh, that makes sense.
2 out of 3. You still have a couple more chances here.
Cool.
And you're answering BuzzFeed questions YouTube video. What did you find out was your dominant personality trait?
I have no fucking clue. You need to tell me. I have one loss, and hopefully I bank that one. I don't know this one.
Ambitious.
Oh, yeah, I would not have guessed that.
Does it make sense though? Like the
it makes sense, very much so. But I don't even remember anything.
Okay, I think you'll get this. In your Q&A with Influencer Intelligence, what song did you say you wish you had written?
Influencer Intelligence? Castle on the Hill? Oh, lit. Fuck yeah, great.
Okay, you got 3 out of 5, which I think is pretty good.
I win. That's more than
more than half. So
yeah.
Now just to round things off, I just wanted to talk about a few more interview answers that you've given before. You said that you loved rom-coms, so I'm curious, what are some of your favorite rom-coms?
Something About Mary. Really good one. And then there's this other one, 30 Going Under 30 or something.
13 Going on 30?
Yeah, 13 Going on 30. Those two stick out in my head, but I have like way more. I actually have it on my notes list, but if I do that right now, I'm just gonna be paused. So we're not gonna do that.
And you're definitely going to disappear from the screen again.
Yeah.
But maybe you could give out that information on tour, get some people into watching some good movies.
Yeah.
In your Zach Sang interview, which I love to listen to, it's also I know a friend of yours. You said you don't like sandwiches. So this is a hypothetical question. If you showed up on your music video set and the caterer came in, they only had sandwiches and bagels, what would you do?
Fire them. Like I'm not.
But they're very important in the food industry. And if you fire them, you might not get catering ever again.
Oh well, I'll Uber eat something. I don't give a fuck. Like they will specifically know that no sandwiches or bagels are to be brought to wherever I am. It's not happening. Like I'm like top of the morning, either get me a bunch of sashimi or a fucking rice bowl. That's all I want. Or rotisserie chicken. That's like everyone in my team knows that. Like everyone knows, like we're doing a music, whatever we're doing, like if someone's getting food, no one's getting me a croissant or anything bread related, like none of that. Just give me very simple.
I have one more question for you. Our signature question: if you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Probably just like milk chocolate. I don't really have an answer why. I just like whenever I go get ice cream, I only get milk chocolate. I maybe because of the simplicity of it, and everything else is just like doesn't make sense. Like strawberry, like nah, like I'm just gonna go with the basics. I don't really have an answer why, but yeah.
I like it. If you go to the basics, something you love.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you. Thank you so much, Clinton,
Perfect.
for taking the time to chat.
Of
Really
course.
appreciate it. Make sure to check out Clinton's debut album. Maybe someday it'll all be okay. Catch him on the road in a city or country near you, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much.